Hello, I'm Jared Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my 2018-2019 NBA regular season and playoff predictions. So I'm going to be discussing basically each ranking, the ranking of each NBA team, both in the East and the West. I'll be saying, the 8 teams that do make the playoffs and how far I think each of those teams will be going, and then the 7 teams that missed the playoffs on both, like I said, the East and the West. So let's start off with the rankings. First, we'll start with the West. So in the seed number 1, I have the Golden State Warriors. Seed number 2, I have the Houston Rockets. Seed number 3, I have the Utah Jazz. Seed number 4, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. Seed number 5, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Seed number 6, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. Seed number 7, I have San Antonio, the San Antonio Spurs. And then seed number 8, I have the Denver Nuggets. And these are the 8 teams that make the playoffs in the West. I think I had Utah ranked very high at number 3 because Donovan Mitchell is now starting his second year. He's already has playoff experience. He's got a good team, and I think they're going to go very far as long as everyone stays healthy. That is. And then I had the Denver Nuggets finally making the playoffs because they've been close so many years now in a row where they happen to be the 9 or the 10 seed, and I think this is the year they get in. They have a good team with Jokic, with Jamal Murray. They picked up Isaiah Thomas over the summer. And I think they're going to be a very good team. The 7 teams I have missing the playoffs in ranking, at seed number 9, I have the Portland Trailblazers. I think that they haven't performed very well. They seem to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to just miss it this time around. At seed number 10, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. As you guys all know, the drama that's been happening with Jimmy Butler. I don't think that team's going to get too much better. And with like Jimmy Butler said, they can't win without him. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Seed number 11, I have the Los Angeles Clippers. I have them a little bit lower than I think they actually might perform, but because they have a very good team, it's just if they all stay healthy with Tobias Harris, Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, they just have Danilo Gallinari. As long as they stay healthy, they're going to be a very good team, but a lot of those players have injury problems. So we'll see how far they go. I have them ranked down number 11. Ranked number 12, I have the Dallas Mavericks. They have Dennis Smith Jr. now, DeAndre Jordan. Dirk is still powering through, but I don't think they're going to make it into the playoffs. Seed number 13, I have the Phoenix Suns. They are a very young team, and Devin Booker, very, very good. He's probably one of my favorite NBA players that isn't on the Heat, but they're just a very young team. I don't think they'll make it into the playoffs just yet. Seed number 14, I have the Sacramento Kings, and they're also a young team, but they're not up to playoff standards, especially in the West yet. And then in last place in the West, seed number 15, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies tend to be either really good, like a 7 or a 6 seed, or they tend to be really bad. And I think their curse, the bad is going to be happening this season as well. So now let's talk about the East. So in seed number 1 on the East, I ripped that paper. In seed number 1 on the East, I have the Boston Celtics. Seed number 2, I have the Toronto Raptors. Seed number 3, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Seed number 4, I have the Indiana Pacers. Seed number 5, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. Seed number 6, I have the Miami Heat. Seed number 7, I have the Washington Wizards. And seed number 8, I have the Detroit Pistons. These teams I think they're all pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. I have the Pistons making the playoffs this time around. They have Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, Ish Smith, and I think they still have Reggie Jackson as well. But they're a good team. I don't think they're going to make it very far in the playoffs, but they are a good team. And let's talk about the 7 teams that happen to miss the playoffs in the East. At seed number 9, I have the Chicago Bulls. They are a very, very young team, and there's a lot of potential for them. The ceiling is, the roof, as Michael Jordan would say. And but they're a very young team. I think they're going to become a little short, but they're going to miss it. Seed number 10, I have the New York Knicks. They're as well a very young team. Kevin Knox, they got a very good team as well. But if Porzingis stays healthy, they might make the playoffs. He might take that 8th seed. But it all depends on how healthy everyone is. Seed number 11 is the Charlotte Hornets. Seed number 12, I have the where is that? No, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're just going to underperform now that LeBron is gone. They still have Kevin Love. They picked up Colin Sexton, but I don't think they're going to perform how Tristan Thompson thinks they will. Seed number 13, I have the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young now on that team, but they're a young team as well. They're still in the rebuilding process. Seed number 14, I have the Brooklyn Nets. They as well have a young team. D'Angelo Russell, one of my favorite players. I like him a lot. But they have a young team, and I think that they're going to be underperforming as well. And then the last seed in the East, ranked seated at number 15, I have the Orlando Magic, and I just think they're going to struggle this year. They have Aaron Gordon, they have Vucevic, but I don't think they're going to perform very well at all this season. So now that we covered the regular season, let's talk about the playoffs. So in the West, since I had Golden State ranked at number 1, that means they will be facing seed number 8, which is the Denver Nuggets. And in that game, I happen to have Golden State winning. I just think Golden State's very strong. Then I have at seed number 4, the Los Angeles Lakers will be facing seed number 5, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I have the Lakers beating the Thunder to go and face off against the Warriors in the second round. On the other side of the branch, I have the Houston Rockets ranked at number 2, and so that means they'll be facing ranked number 7, the San Antonio Spurs. And I have Houston winning that matchup. The Spurs they have DeRozan, but I trust in Popovich to get them to the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to be high enough power to beat other teams in the playoffs. So I have them losing to Houston. And then at seed number 3, I have the Utah Jazz facing off against seed number 6, which is the New Orleans Pelicans. They're the New Orleans Pelicans, and I have the Utah Jazz winning that to face off against Houston in the second round. Over on the East, I have ranked number 1, Boston Celtics, facing off against ranked number 8, the Detroit Pistons, and I have the Boston Celtics winning that. And yeah. And then I have seed number 4, which is the Indiana Pacers, facing seed number 5, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. And I have the Pacers winning that game, probably like game 7 to be honest, because Antetokounmpo is very good. All the deep ball on the Pacers are very good. They both have very strong teams, but I think the Pacers have more role players than the Bucks do. So they shall beat them and face off against the Celtics in the second round. On the other side, I have the Toronto Raptors ranked at number 2. So that means they'll be facing ranked number 7, the Washington Wizards. And I have the Raptors beating the Wizards. And it always seems that they happen to be facing each other in the playoffs. I don't know what it is, but I have the Raptors winning again. And then I have seed number 3, which is the Philadelphia 76ers, facing off against my team, seed number 6, the Miami Heat. And although I am a Heat fan, I don't think we will be able to beat the 76ers, and the 76ers will prevail and go into the second round facing the Toronto Raptors. Now, that was the first round. Let's talk about the second round. In the second round, I have seed number 1 in the West. Seed number 1, Golden State Warriors, facing off against the number 4 seed, the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron versus the Warriors again. I think it comes a little bit earlier than later, and I have the Warriors beating the Lakers in that. Next, in the West, I have the Houston Rockets, seed number 2, facing off against seed number 3, the Utah Jazz. And I have the Houston Rockets winning that matchup again, rematch, but I have them winning just like they did last season. And they will go on to the Western Conference Finals to face off against the Golden State Warriors for another rematch. In the East, I have ranked number 1, Boston Celtics, facing off against ranked number 4, the Indiana Pacers. I believe Boston will take this one and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. They just have a very good team, especially if everyone stays healthy. To see how far they went last season with their 2 main stars out, and now they're back, I think they're going to be very, very good. And then I have the number 2 seed, Toronto Raptors, facing off against the number 3 seed, Philadelphia 76ers. And I actually have the underranked team winning this one. I have the 76ers prevailing against the Toronto Raptors, probably like a game 6 or game 7. I just think the 76ers are very good. They have a lot of key players. I think Markelle Fultz is going to come back stronger than ever. And he's going to have his shot, hopefully. And I think they will beat the Toronto Raptors, Kawhi and the Toronto Raptors, to go off to the Eastern Conference Finals. So now that we're in the Conference Finals, let's start with the West. I have the Golden State Warriors against the Houston Rockets for a Western Conference Finals rematch. And I have the Warriors winning this one. I just think they're too strong of a team to have 5 All-Stars as their starters. I think that they're too strong. I think the Houston Rockets will take it to Game 6, but no further than that. So I have the Golden State Warriors moving on past the Rockets to go into the finals. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, I have the number 1 seed Boston Celtics against the number 3 seed Philadelphia 76ers. I have the Celtics winning that matchup, probably a little bit easier. I think probably like a Game 5 or a Game 6. I think the Celtics are very, very strong. Like I said, if they're healthy, they're very strong. And they will move past the 76ers to go into the finals. Now, the big stage is here, the NBA Finals. I have the number 1 ranked on the West, Golden State Warriors. So now we're on the big stage, the NBA Finals. So I have the number 1 seed in the West, the Golden State Warriors, facing off against the number 1 seed in the East, the Boston Celtics. I think this game will go down probably to maybe 6 games at max. And I happen to have the Boston Celtics losing to the Golden State Warriors. I have the Warriors prevailing, winning the championship yet again for the 3rd year in a row. I just think that they're too strong, and unless like Durant or even they may need 2 of their starters to get injured for them to actually be out of maybe contention of winning the championship or even going to the finals itself. I just think that they're too strong of a team. Personally, I think I'm rooting more for Boston, but without picking my bias for my predictions, I'm going to have to pick the Golden State Warriors to win the 2018-2019 NBA championship. So let's see how my predictions fare out as the season goes on. Will I be right? Will I be wrong? We'll see. In one case, I want my predictions to be right, to be like, oh, hey, I predicted it. But in another case, I don't mind my predictions being wrong. I don't mind the Miami Heat proving me wrong. They go higher up in the playoffs than I think they do, or they get a better ranked seed. We'll see. We'll see. But thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys later. See ya. Ow.